Hey everyone, this is Kathy Mazak, and I'm coming to you live in the first video of a probably 7-day video series that is geared to supporting you and giving you ideas about how to work from home as a professor during this coronavirus pandemic. So I'm going to jump right into content and then I'll explain later the video series and all the free stuff that's coming up. But today, what I wanted to start by talking about was a super simple way to take your class online using simple tools that probably your students already have access to, and that is Google Docs and Loom. Okay, so Loom, L-O-O-M, Loom. So first, I just want to say that there's lots of advice and fantastic resources going around the internet right now about how to take your course online. Some of us are getting instruction from our universities. Some of us are not. So that's why I wanted to come and show you what I would do if I needed to take a course online right now. I'm on leave of absence this semester, so I don't have to do that, but this is what I would do if I had to. So there's two things to keep in mind, probably more than that. One is that you want to use tools that your students are already familiar with, if at all possible. So some universities employ Canvas and a Moodle or like whatever different kinds of platforms that exist, and students are already familiar with them. So you could totally use that. I have found, having tried to use Moodle, that it was actually simpler and it made sense for me when to offer online course materials just using Google Docs. And a couple of things there. There's definitely limitations, like you can't make a quiz, for example, like a multiple choice self-grading quiz in Google Docs. You can't do that. But what I wanted to come on to talk to you about was like thinking about like a very, very, very simple way using tools that are probably super familiar to your students, Google Docs, to go online. So the first thing is like, obviously, this works best if your students have Google accounts, like Google Suite accounts hooked to their university accounts, which we do at my university. The other thing I wanted to mention was a lot of the advice going around is saying to go asynchronous with your teaching. And what that means is that instead of holding class online via Zoom, or some other Google Hangout thing or whatever, like a live situation like I'm doing right now. Instead of that, that is actually more equitable for students if you create an asynchronous experience, right? Synchronous would be that everybody's online at the same time using some kind of tool. It doesn't have to be video. It could be a chat or something like that. Everybody's online at the same time. Asynchronous is you create something, it's out there, the students access it when they can. So the reason that asynchronous is often thought to be more equitable in a situation like this is that students didn't sign up. Many students who are taking classes that are now going online, those students didn't sign up for online classes. So they might not have high-speed internet at home or any internet at home. And that means that they might be looking for kind of other ways to access internet. It might be through a family member, or they should not be going to a cafe right now, but whatever, if that, if they feel, well, anyway, I'm not going to judge. I'm just going to say like if you don't have internet at home, it's going to be really, really extra hard for you to attend a synchronous class online. But an asynchronous class, like maybe you could plan, right? If you're a student without internet or all the other things, right? Like you're a student who now has her children or his children at home. You're a student who now has to work from home instead of going to work. All of those kinds of situations where the student is not fully in control of his or her time all day. Like we imagine students are sitting at home and all they're doing is college, and they're not. Okay. Asynchronous is more equitable because then the student can plan like, okay, well, I know that the professor is going to release new materials on Monday and that I'm going to have until Sunday evening to complete the series of materials or whatever. And then Monday, there'll be a new thing. And then Sunday night, or however you decide to set it up. So that way a student can decide like, okay, well, I'm going to access the internet in this specific way, in these specific hours that work for me, like perhaps when my children are asleep or something like that. And then I can do everything I need to do kind of in a big bunch and then be offline instead of having to meet synchronously. Okay, so those are kind of some things to keep in mind. Now let me share my screen with you. And what I'm going to show you, what I'm going to show you here is the actual Google Drive from when I last taught sociolinguistics. Okay, so that was a 4,000 level course that I taught in 2018. And we, instead of using a Moodle or anything, and this was an in-person class, but I'm going to show you exactly how I would adapt it. So this was in 2018. And instead of using Moodle, which is our university's preferred system, I decided to use Google Docs. Okay, so I see that there's comments coming in. I'm going to just do my thing here, and then I'm going to answer everybody's questions. Hi, Elizabeth. Okay, so I basically just set up here. Hold on. I just set up a folder for assignments where I have assignment sheets digitally, a folder for presentation and class materials, a folder for readings. All of our readings were PDF readings. And then some other kind of high important level things, like we had a midterm that used key terms. So we were creating a running key terms master list. And this is the calendar, and that's what I'm going to show you. And then the evaluation strategies are there so that they're kind of pulled out from the syllabus. So this is how I organized that drive. The students, which there were about 15 of, all the students had access to this drive. So we shared it. I just shared it with them, and we used the Google sharing tools to submit assignments and also for me to deliver materials to them. So I want to show you the calendar and how you could use this, a Google Doc to deliver asynchronous online course material. So this is my absolutely synchronous in-person course, but I'm going to show you how I would have adapted it. So each day we had readings. This is a 4,000 level majors course. And so also take all of this with a grain of salt. This is how I would do a less than 20 people high level majors class. This is not, biology 1-on-1 for 300 students. Okay. So basically I would have a chapter that they would read, and that chapter is as a PDF inside of readings. And then we would have some video content for them to consume. Now, if I was going to create this as an online course and use this, I would just put some instructions here. So I would say something like create a checklist, right? So the first thing that you would do is read chapter 2, right? And then the second thing you would do is watch this. And then the third thing you would do is watch this. Oops, sorry. Typing in public, not my favorite thing. Watch that. And then the fourth thing you would do is, answer this question in a Google Doc and share with me by Sunday at midnight. And so a really quick way to do grading, again, for a small number of students, because having like 100 students share docs with you is a different thing. But for this particular thing, you could do, you could ask some kind of discussion questions there and, have them answer them inside of a Google Doc and then share it back with you. So using those Google Share features for students to turn in assignments in a secure way that other students aren't going to be seeing them. Okay. Alternatively, if you wanted them to do something more in depth, you don't have to put the questions right here. You could link to an assignment sheet. that is someplace else in this Google Drive under assignments, for example. So that way you could just have a, read this, watch this, respond in this way kind of format, and it could be asynchronous. Now, that would work for this lesson. That would work over here as well. And really, the idea here is simple tools that they have access to, like YouTube, Google Docs. Okay, so what about here? Like, what if I was like, okay, well, I needed to create a presentation that, I was planning on creating a presentation, my own video, right? Well, I'm going to show you the absolute simplest video tool that I found. You can do this in Zoom. You can do it in so many different ways, but I'm just going to show you a super, super simple tool. So the tool is called Loom, Loom, and it is free. And I think they are also offering like their higher premium version free to instructors for a certain amount of time. So go to loom.com and check that out. And it's a little app, and you'll see up in here, I don't know, it's probably too small, especially if you're on your phone. But there's this little icon here, and you click on it, and it will start recording your screen. And you can do your screen plus your camera. And I don't know if I can move this. I can't. But where my picture is right now, underneath of that is a little circle, also with my face in it. So you can have that little circle with your face. Actually, maybe I can move this circle. Does that work? Yeah, there it is. Okay. So you can put that circle wherever you want. And then you can have, if you don't want the circle, you can do screen only, and then it'll have your little picture there. Or you can even do camera only if you wanted to just record your face, right? So when you click start recording, which I'm not going to do because I don't know like if this Facebook Live will go nuts if I do that. But when you click start recording, it counts down, and basically, well, first it asks you what part of your screen do you want to record, and you click on that. And then it counts down 3, 2, 1, and you're recording. When you're done, you just click this changes, and you just click a check mark. And after you click the check mark, it gives you a URL. And so what you could do with that URL is just paste that here. Okay, paste that Loom URL right here. And then you don't have to worry about recording and then uploading and downloading. It's just done for you, and that's it. So the simplest way to do a presentation is to, use your same PDF slides or PowerPoint slides that you were going to use and just talk over them. A few important things about creating a talk over slides presentation. Make them short. Make it as short as you can. Don't worry about editing out the ums and ahs and stuff like that. You just don't need to. It's not necessary, especially right now when you're just trying to do the best you can to get the content and the teaching to the students. So don't worry about editing. It's better to make it's better to make 2, 3, 5 short videos of 5 minutes long than it is to make one 30 or 45-minute lecture. So if there's any way that you can break your normal slide content into subsections and actually create a new video for each subsection, it'll be easier for students to consume. So those are my tips for a really simple way to create you take your class online, super simple, just Google Docs and Loom. Okay, Elizabeth Trott has a question. We have been told synchronous is preferred, both due to not stressing the tech systems as much in the evenings and due to issues with financial aid. Okay, I'm not sure about issues with financial aid Elizabeth, if you're still on, you could clarify that, like how would financial aid be affected by synchronous versus asynchronous? But I mean, you definitely have to go with like what your university is telling you, right? Like you can't, like it's hard. You can't, you're getting instructions. What I would like my message to you is make it simple, have empathy for the students, have grace for yourself. It does not have to be perfect on your end. It just has to be the best that you can do under the current very stressful circumstances. All right, so now I want to tell you about what else is coming up. So this week, and I put this in the description of this video, this week I'm going live every day. Now, I got my kids at home too. So I haven't put a set time for going live every day because of that. If I can come up with a set time, I'm still figuring out what our schedule is going to be anyway. So I'm going live every day. The best way to participate is go to my Facebook page where this video is living, and it will continue to be there. So if you want to share it, if you thought it was helpful, please share it. It is public to share, but you have to share it from the page, just in case you're watching this inside the I Should Be Writing Facebook group. And I'll be going live every day. Just set your notifications to follow and to see first. And if you're like, hey, where's Kathy's video from today? I didn't see it in my feed. Click on through to my page and they will be there. Now, the other thing I want to announce is that, let me tell you a little bit about what those videos are going to be about. So what I have planned so far, in addition to today's video, is I'm going to do a video about creating a space to work from home. So that's really important. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to create a video about your tenure clock during this time and what you should be thinking about, and a tenure, but also promotion for those of you who might be going up for full. I'm going to talk about mindset shifts related to working at home. So I have been working at home all year. And I'm also I've been working at home all year. So even through sick kids and different things. And so I have some advice about how to approach your work at home day. And I'm also going to be talking about managing a research team remotely. So in my remote work as an academic writing coach, I manage a team of 5 people who are in all different places. And so I'm going to talk to you about how to manage a team remotely and apply it directly to your research team. And then I'm also going to talk about how to work remotely with your dissertating students. And I'm going to show you some ways to do that in Trello and give you a Trello board for that. And one other thing, I'm going to be talking about using a free calendar tool to schedule meetings. These are just simple kind of how-to videos. I'm trying to make them short, but I know today I'm going on and on. What else? And then I'm going to culminate on Monday, not this Monday, next Monday, the 23rd of March at 2 p.m. Eastern. And I'm going to be doing a webinar called Writing in the Time of Coronavirus, 5 things that you need to do to keep writing during the crisis. So, we've had a discussion in our I Should Be Writing Facebook group about, our Facebook group is really about writing, but we are all feeling pressure and asking questions. And so my videos that I'm doing this week that aren't so much about writing are all in response to questions from the community. So I wanted to just offer free training this week, answering those questions, even if it doesn't, directly relate to your writing. It relates to your life, right, as an academic. And on Monday, not tomorrow, on March 23rd, I'm going to do a webinar directly teaching everything I can about how to keep your writing going during this time. Now, That webinar is going to be one that you have to sign up for because I'm going to use Zoom. It's not going to be live on Facebook. So I will be sharing the registration page as soon as we have it made. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So Elizabeth wrote back. She said, we are told some students' financial aid does not allow asynchronous online courses. I don't know any more than that. Okay. That's something that is definitely like your administration. If your administration is telling you that, then that's something to be, checked out on your end. I'm kind of trying to relate advice, right, about like what I think is actually best for students. But also, like I would say, like just to add something, like definitely you want to have some synchronous time. You might want to make it your office hours, right? Like some amount of time that you are available on Zoom or available by phone that students could call you or whatever. Giving them the phone option, I think, would be a really great thing because of the stress to the internet and all that stuff. So those are my thoughts there. Consult, of course, with your administration. But as I always say, like, take what your administration says with a little bit of a grain of salt because they're making it up as they go along as well. So you need to simultaneously listen, obviously, to what your admins are saying, but also think about yourself, think about what's best for your students, and really create something that you're going to feel kind of good about. And knowing that you don't have to like create the most outstanding online course ever, what you have to do is you implement a stopgap measure, right? Like implement a Band-Aid. And yeah, we might have to have that Band-Aid on till the end of the semester, and it's going to take creativity, but it's also going to take empathy and grace and support from each other. So if you have other questions, I'm happy to try to do more videos to answer them. If you're wondering, if you're seeing me for the first time and you're wondering who the heck is she, I'll just introduce myself and then I'll sign off. So I'm Kathy Mazak. I'm a tenured full professor. I have 3 little ones. They're all off from school. And I am actually certified in university online teaching for what it's worth. And I have been running this completely online business this is my 4th year in business. And the business is academic writing coaching specifically for women. And I have programs that help women find time to write and get their writing done and feel comfortable and actually happy and joyful. I'm going up for promotion and preparing for tenure. That's my Amplify program. And also programs that help post-tenure women next level their careers, whatever that means for you. And that's my Elevate program. And I have the Academic Women's Writing Roadmap, which is my program for everyone from who is late stage PhD to any point in their career who wants to write and publish more. And that's a fully online course. And I'll be talking more about that in the coming weeks. We always open the doors the first week of May, especially because people are kind of getting ready for summer writing. But we are going to be offering a lot of free content before then, and we are going to open the doors earlier than that for people who are ready to who are stuck at home and want to get their writing done. So I'll be telling you more about that later. But for right now, thank you for tuning in. Please share this video if you want to, if you found it useful, please share it around and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.